I'm Skeleton Nation. I do commentaries because why not? So, today we're going to be looking at Kablambandicoot64 and his commentary on the mysterious Mr. Enter's review on Annoying Orange. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all that needs to be said. Links in the description below. Let's get started.
Because I like torturing myself, I decided to watch Mr. Enter's most recent video, his review on the Annoying Orange. And I couldn't make it through the first 2 minutes because it was so bad! Oh my god. Oh, he proves himself to be a hypocrite and an idiot in just 2 minutes!
Wait, what?
Oh, God. Let's roll the footage, or whatever footage I managed to get, because I only have 2 minutes worth, maybe less. Oh.
Do you know what making a mountain out of a molehill is? Well, basically you're making a big problem out of something so minor. Why are you this lost?
It ain't gonna be fun, folks. It ain't gonna be fun.
While this didn't necessarily factor into my decision to do this review, I will say that the Annoying Orange Cartoon Network show was one of my most requested things to review, like, ever.
Your damage control is about as convincing as the damage control that the Fine Brothers used for React World. Yeah, the requests, that's the entire reason you're doing this, Enter. You're not fooling anybody. Like, I'm not doing this out of a request, okay? I'm just doing it because I hate Mr. Enter and I think his reviews are garbage. Not because of requests. But here, come on, people were requesting you out the butthole to do this. It's pretty obvious that you're doing this because people asked you to. Pretty pathetic.
Okay, bashing Mr. Enter and not bringing anything new to the table is not exactly wise. Mainly due to the fact that, guess what? Mr. Enter has been commentated on to death. So, unless you bring something new to the table, it's practically irrelevant. I could search up the mysterious Mr. Enter commentary, and I could find 15, 20, 35, 40, many commentaries and videos on this guy. Heck, even Cute Fuzzy Weasel did a video on him. So, really, you're just being irrelevant and ignorant.
If you asked me what was the worst thing the Cartoon Network ever did, I'd say the Problem Solvers. But the biggest mistake they ever made was perhaps to put this show on the air.
So you're saying that a crappy Cartoon Network show is their biggest mistake, but them pretty much destroying their reputation for a while by airing live action? That totally wasn't their biggest mistake. Look, I get that the Annoying Orange is sort of a weird hybrid cross between live action and cartoons, but it still definitely focuses more on the animation, so I'm counting it as a cartoon. Enter, you don't make sense here, okay? It's pretty obvious that you're just biased, that you don't like this show. When you think that this was a worse mistake, an obscure show that probably no one remembers, was a bigger mistake than live action, which still has people holding a grudge against Cartoon Network. Yeah. There are 90s kids on the internet who still complain about Cartoon Network airing live action even though they haven't done it in years. That's how bad that left an impression. And you're saying that the Annoying Orange was worse. Okay?
Are you kidding? Annoying Orange is barely even animated, and the only animated things that I can classify as animation would happen to be the Annoying Orange and his friends. And guess what? People still classify the show as being terrible. That's why Cartoon Network hasn't tried anything like this since 2014. It's worse than Breadwinners or Fred.
See, at the time, Nickelodeon gave Fred, the most popular YouTube celebrity, a movie and his own television show. This worked out horribly. The movie was panned, the show bombed, and even the web series' reputation started heading down afterwards. For some reason, Cartoon Network wanted to rip off this brilliant move and gave a cartoon series to another rising YouTube concept.
Wait, this sounds familiar. Someone is trying to turn something that was previously available into a series, it ends up bombing, and their reputation goes down the toilet. Let's look at what happened with Mr. Enter himself. He takes an obscure Disney pilot, tries to make a series out of it, but I don't care if it's a fan fiction or if he took inspiration. It's a ripoff. He tries to make a series out of it. It gets panned even by his fans, and lo and behold, Mr. Enter's reputation has been going down the toilet. Yeah. His obliviousness to reality is frightening, to say the least. Oh God, oh God, oh God. Mr. Enter, please retire. That is all.
We get it. Can you stop bashing Mr. Enter for outlandish reasons and get to an actual point? Guess what? That series, or that thing that was supposedly available that Mr. Enter saw, guess what? Only had one episode. Hence the name Failed Pilots. You seriously can't be this dumb. If it only has one episode, then it's not necessarily available. You can't be this dumb.
Nah, I'm gonna keep watching this video to see if I can find any more idiotic complaints. Oh, if I wasn't an atheist, I would be praying.
Give breadwinners this. At least the actual cartoon is animated better than the web version. Like most cartoons, this one has a theme song.
A cartoon having a theme song? Well, I'll be darned. Well, a cartoon having a theme song, that is just... Oh, wow, a theme song.
You don't come out of there, I'm gonna have to drag you out.
It is absolutely terrible. I'm sorry, but your singing is just off. The lyrics are shit, and the genre is about 20 years out of date.
Wow. Just wow. You're critiquing the theme song. This is a cartoon review, not a theme song review, okay? If you were doing a top 20 worst theme songs list, okay, put this on there, critique it there. Why did you, have to explain that it was bad? I mean, you're talking about the cartoon, not the theme song. This is a problem I have with Enter. He focuses on the theme songs for shows. Why? The shows and the theme songs are different. Imagine if I did a My Life as a Teenage Robot review and said, the theme song for this show is amazing. It's like, why would I do that? Like, for example, Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Great show, but I hate the theme song. It's just so... I can't stand it. But, you know, if I make a review of the show, I'm not going to point it out. It's not worth it. It has nothing to do with the quality of the actual show. I can just skip the theme song or mute my TV or computer if I don't want to hear it. God, Enter. Wow, this was totally worth pointing out in your review.
Hey, look at me. I can call people on mid-thought too. Theme songs can be part of shows too. Normally when you're doing a normal review, theme songs, you know, you wouldn't have anything to say about them. But there can be the bad ones. And Mr. Enter was merely pointing that out. And guess what? If you're watching a marathon of, Looney Tunes and the theme song was abysmal, would you want to watch it? No, I sure wouldn't. So, again, here lies your problem. You miss every point in this commentary. Why?
Seriously, a cartoon having a theme song, I still can't get over that. I'm sorry, I can't.
Yeah, you know, most of the fruits the annoying orange has come across in his travels, their fate ends up essentially being cut to pieces by a knife in a brutal fashion. This doesn't happen to Pear because it would be a lot nicer than forcing him to live around Orange. And apparently, beating a guy when he's down is the perfect recipe for comedy.
You do realize that the majority of your videos are you trying to beat down cartoons that are bad for comedy, right? Let's be honest, Enter. In your videos, you try to make a couple jokes and a couple crackers. And how do you do this? You beat down the bad cartoons. You just trumped your sense of comedy. Not like Donald Trump. I mean, you trumpled it. You just explained that you can't even do your comedy.
KaBlam! You do know that Mr. Enter does not beat down the bad cartoons, for comedy. And guess what? Literally after the point, he says that the jokes are puns. And guess what? Puns and jokes are necessarily the different things. Puns mainly have something to do with a play on words, while jokes are normally like knock-knock jokes, why the chicken crossed the road, all that stuff. You seem to have missed that, because does Mr. Enter always end in puns? No! So, you are lost, my dear friend. You are just lost.
How did you miss this?
Almost every single joke in the show is a pun. A terrible pun. It's terrible puns for 11 minutes, 60 episodes, which total to 2 seasons. At an average of 6 puns per minute, that's almost 4,000 puns that the show has spat out. And not one of them is funny.
As the nostalgia critic would say, this has been another pointless moment. Really, Enter? Why would we care that there are so many terrible puns in this show? Why couldn't you just say, okay, this show has a lot of bad puns, or something along those lines? I mean, you could explain why they're bad. Why would you give us such a scientific and exact calculation of how many puns there are, instead of just explaining why exactly they're bad?
That's because if he did not explain what those certain jokes were, then guess what? People would think of them as other jokes, like you did in your last points. Also, I'm going to be skipping the rest of your point because you pretty much drag it out.
If you don't come out of there, I'm gonna have to drag you out.
But Johnny Appleseed wasn't an apple. He was a person. And he wasn't the only person to travel around the world. These puns are awful.
Dude, you're getting your panties in a wad over a pun in a cartoon. A stupid and unfunny pun, but still. Why are you getting so worked up? Just why? Yeah, it's a pun. It's not funny. Like, what? It's like you didn't even get it. Did you not realize that the name Johnny Appleseed has apple in it? Yeah, it's not a funny pun, but, you know, it's like you couldn't even see what they were trying to do. And that's kind of obvious. Like, I haven't even seen this episode, just the clips that you've been showing, but, you're kind of an idiot.
Wow, a pointless nitpick. Guess what? Mr. Enter uses emotion with his reviews. You seriously have a knack for pointless nitpicking. And that pretty much wraps it up here. I have about 2 minutes and 36 minutes left, but I couldn't cover it if my life depended on it. So, final thoughts? I don't know. This video is terrible. Yeah, this is like a how not to do a commentary on Mr. Enter, as there are a lot, but this whittles down to one big problem. Can you guess what that is, kiddies? Mr. Enter is an overdone topic. You literally brought nothing new to the table, and I'm very scared for you. Especially since you did another video on Mr. Enter and his fans. Why? I'm Skeleton Nation and I am out. Alright, I gotta go. No, please.